And one of the schools I worked at years ago, there was a group of mums that would catch up down the road in a park and they would drink wine, and it was almost, glorified and praised. But, had they have been drinking Jack Daniels and Coke out of a can, the cops might have been called. Who knows? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to stereotype here, but it does have that glamorous look to it. Oh, wine, and these wine mums, and that whole narrative is getting pushed as well, which I think is,
I don't want to be two middle-aged white blokes talking about mummy wine culture.
Yeah.
But fuck me, like it's a really, really dangerous thing. Like drinking fucking glasses of Sauvignon Blanc whilst your 2-year-old's in the bath. Like, I don't know about that. Like, does that really work?
Yeah, and that's not to be critical of any of the mums. Like that was a path that I was heading down. Like that's not a mummy wine culture thing that I'm referencing specifically. I'm saying it sounds fun. Like it sounds like a really fun time. Like you've got this kid that you've got to look after all day and they're beautiful and you love them, but your reward at the end is this massive glass. And that, let's be honest, James, the pours that I'm sure you do and that I used to do, they weren't standard pours.
Oh, no. When you saw a goldfish swim by, like, that was a giveaway that you probably, or there's less in the bottle than there is in the glass. You're in trouble.
I know that the one glass thing has been thrown around, but I took the piss, pardon the pun, in terms of that glass pour. Like, I would knock off a bottle of wine in 2 glasses. Like we did have these cocktail glasses, and I'd say, I'll just have 2 tonight. And I did have 2, but they were like, they were massive. And,
well, the other one is I only had 2 glasses, but I didn't tell you how many times I filled it back up again.
Do you know what I like? I like that we can laugh about it now because, they were scary times for both of us. So in reflection, it's nice to be able to laugh about it now because I feel like we dodged a bullet. Like, in terms of, timing and everything.
And I hope that these conversations as well, like I don't have any statistics about this, but I get the vibe that kids that are coming out of like school age, late teens, early 20s, there's a bit of a culture or a bit of a movement of why am I putting that stuff into my body? Why am I, it might be framed as calories.
How good is that though? How good is that?
Yeah,
like, what
exactly
a fantastic thing for the youth growing up with that mentality.
Well, and then, like, for a bloke as well, like, our minds are still developing. When we were there plying exhibition cider down our necks 20 years ago, like, our brains weren't fully formed.
Yeah.
So for them at that age, they've got a lot to work out. And I don't know whether clouding your judgment with alcohol is of any benefit. I actually don't know what the benefit would be. Maybe it's picking up,
I just wonder how different we would be. Let's say that we were sober from that period, from, let's say we never touched a drink. Would we be any different today in terms of, business, personality, anything, you do wonder how much effect it has had on us for that amount of heavy drinking for 20 plus years.
Well, when we cark it and they cut our brains open and see that it's still got a beer mat from the walkabout in Bristol stuck in there somewhere or whatever, or there's like a red S in our brain from the snake bite, we'll find out then.
Do you know what I've enjoyed most so far is just that, and I think for your own mental health, and correct me if I'm wrong, to be able to talk about these stories, reflect on them, and bank them and still admit that they were good times and good fun, but know they were also dangerous and know that maybe they weren't the right thing to do, but nonetheless still good times, and that we've moved on, grown up, is still healthy sort of dialogue to have.
I don't think I regret much about this time of my life. There's later times when I do.
Yeah.
But about this time and in my 20s, I don't know whether there's a lot that I regret. I put myself in dangerous situations. That's probably one thing that I can acknowledge, that I took risks that I wouldn't be proud if my children took those risks now is probably the way that I'd frame that. But yeah, it's the benefit of hindsight. And like, when the fuck do we grow up? Like, we're both 40, right? And it's taken us till now to really work out this part of our lives.